movie tree.
Howdy, howdy, branches, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Tree Podcast. There we go. A little chompy.
Little chompy.
A little chompers.
Little bitey.
Yeah, a little bitey. This episode should have started that again. This episode has a lot of bite.
You can.
Nah, we're too far.
Oh, we're too far in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Poncho.
Hey, next time we do Jaws.
Next time
Yeah,
we do
when we do Jaws 2.
I'm Poncho. That's GPG. What number episode is this?
90 Trey.
If you want to know how we got there, this is how we did it. Each episode, we review a movie, and at the end of the review, we decide the movie for next week's episode. The catch is the next movie we pick must be connected to the previous movie, whether that's by an actor, a writer, or the director. For instance, this week we've chosen
Jaws
because...
Ted Grossman.
And what does he do?
He played FBI man in The Goonies.
And who does he play in
Plays
this?
estuary victim in this movie.
It's not a strong
It's not
branch.
it's a strong movie, not a strong branch.
But if we only went strong branches, this would have ended at about episode 4.
Yep,
And we
yep,
are
yep.
on 93. God damn, we're moving up.
Yeah, I'm moving up. When did you first watch Jaws?
Jaws, I reckon this may have been a TV movie because I don't remember anyone owning it, and I definitely didn't buy it straight off the bat. I still don't think I have it, which is wild. But I should get it.
You should.
Yeah, so I feel this is a TV movie which probably cut out a lot
Yes.
of shit. So, yeah, that was my first. What about you, mate?
A little bit of a story for this one.
Ooh. Shit, why'd the screen just shimmer?
So when I was younger, I had quite a large bedroom at I had the biggest bedroom.
Well,
in
okay,
there.
show off.
Yeah, I know.
Anything else, Mr. Goldman?
So my parents stored all of their books in my room on shelves that were high up on the wall, and I could see Jaws sitting up on the shelf, and I'd heard of it. I heard, and even the font used on the side of the book, all pointy letters and stuff, intrigued me. So when I think I was maybe 10 or 11, I climbed up and I grabbed it and I read bits of it, and I was hooked from there. So I badgered my parents to watch the movie. So like you, when it next came on TV, they let me watch it.
Yeah.
And then I stayed out of the ocean for about 10 years.
Yeah, it's a good move. Good move.
So, yeah, I think this is late 80s TV or like around the turn of the decade TV watch. So, the storyline. So, when a killer shark unleashes chaos on a beach community off Cape Cod, it's up to a local sheriff, a marine biologist, and an old seafarer to hunt the beast down.
Yeah, that's the movie I watched.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. IMDb.
Nice.
IMDb has this as an 8.1. Rotten Tomatoes, 97% critics. And I'd love to find the 3% or whatever it is that didn't give it fucking 100%. You fucking dogs.
Are they?
Audience, 90%.
Yeah.
On a budget of 7 mil. Now
Oh.
get ready to have your mind fucking blown.
Balloon. Yep.
On a budget of 7 mil, it made $477 million
Damn.
in its first theatrical run. It was re-released 25 years and then 40 years, and was in the top 10 box office during that as well.
Yeah. Jesus.
Number one at the box office for that year, and it's daylight between that and second, which was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with 163 mil.
Wow.
Third was Shampoo with 49 mil.
The fuck is shampoo?
It's a movie.
It's a hair product.
I
I
assume
thought.
it's about. I don't know.
I've never even heard of that movie.
No, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Okay.
Released on the 27th of November, 1975. Believe it or not, this is their second movie from 1975. Obviously, we did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep.
Runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes. Produced by Universal Pictures. Awards, won 3 Oscars for Best Sound, Best Film Editing, and of course John Williams' score. Was also nominated for Best Picture, but lost to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was also criminal that Spielberg was not nominated for Best Director.
Can you imagine just the Universal board sitting there as this come out? Just sitting in money naked doing cocaine. Well, 75.
Heroin,
LSD or something. I don't know. But they would have just like this creates studios.
It does. This is widely because normally before this movie came out, because it was supposed to come out in December of 74, and then it got bumped to American summer, which is our winter, so mid-year 75.
Yeah.
The release date was the Australian release date that I read off. It was the first summer blockbuster because up until that point, studios waited until summer to drop their shit projects that they didn't think were going to make any money.
Yeah.
Because no one was going to cinemas. It was summer. Everyone was outside. This was the first movie to break the mold and become a hit during summer. And from then on, the summer blockbuster has been a massive part of Hollywood.
I fucking Nobody wants to be outside in summer. It's too
No,
fucking
it's too
hot.
fucking hot. The best place to be is in the cinema.
Spring, autumn, there you're
Even
outside.
today, we're watching
Yeah.
June 2. It's 20 degrees outside. They're pumping the fucking cool air
Yeah,
in.
God, that's it.
Directed by Steven Spielberg, of course, and I want to induct him right now in the John Williams Hall of Fame.
I would agree with that.
Let's.
I won't even nominate him. Just put him in.
I want to put him in. Let's rattle off some titles. So Close Encounters, E.T., Indiana Jones, The Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, Hook, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, War of the Worlds, Adventures of Tintin, Lincoln, and Ready Player One.
I think I've heard of one of those.
Also, add to that his writing credits with Close Encounters, Poltergeist, The Goonies, and AI.
Oh,
On top of that, you can add his production credits, which are far too numerous to mention here.
yeah.
But you think of things like Band of Brothers, that type of. He's been involved in
huge.
He's won 3 Oscars: Best Director for Schindler's List, Best Picture for Schindler's List, and Best Director for Saving Private Ryan.
And he's worth like $2 billion now or something.
Additionally, he's been nominated another 20 times for Oscars. He also the recipient of the Irving G. Thalberg Award at the Academy Awards in 1987
God dang.
for his consistently high quality of motion picture production.
There's no argument.
No
to having
argument,
out.
is there?
And if you want to write in, don't bother. Because
So-
he's going in.
So, on the back of that then,
The John Williams Lifetime Achievement Award.
welcome, Mr. Spielberg.
That award's going to mean something one day.
It will, I know. It'll be on IMDb. When people
yes.
look up the awards for something, they'll see on IMDb.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if I was willing to pay for a professional IMDb membership, I could put it up there now.
what happens if we just sent it to him?
Spielberg.
Just send like a gift to Spielberg. You're
Yeah,
in the
he's
John
just stubby
Williams.
older.
He'd be like, what the? He'd call up John. He'd be like, what's this? John would be like, I don't know.
But then like behind the scenes of his next movie, we see he's got a drink in his movie tree
Or yeah,
stubby holder.
Or he does like an Empire magazine, one-on-one chat that's
Yeah.
just behind him.
Yeah.
What's your favourite one? It's above his Oscars. That one, because it's named after my friend John.
Yeah. Interesting.
Friendship is everything.
Here's some facts. There's a lot of shit about this movie. So over 67 million people in the US went to see this film when it was initially released in 1975.
Oy.
Originally, Steven Spielberg was not the director of Jaws. The first director, Dick Richards, so Dick,
Richard.
was fired after a meeting with producers and studio executives. In the meeting, he said that his opening shot would have the camera come out of the water to show the town, then the whale, instead of the shark, would come out of the water. The producers said that they were not making Moby Dick and they would not work with someone who did not know the difference between a whale and a shark.
What sort of Jaws? What would it be called? Blowhole.
Gums.
Gum.
It's just a whale going, ooh. Killing people with his sound.
Yeah. I'm big.
It's called ears. The cast and what a cast. Only short. Roy Scheider, 43. And I guess we're going to be doing this a couple of times.
Y'all, for real though, this right here, this goes out to all our fallen homies, yo.
Passed away in 2008. Robert Shaw, 48.
Y'all, for real though, this right here, this goes out to all our fallen homies, yo.
48. That's no good.
Passed away 3 years later in 1977.
What was it again? What do you have?
Had a heart attack, heart failure.
Sucks.
Richard Dreyfuss was 28 and is still very much alive.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Lorraine Gary, 38. Murray Hamilton, 52. Last week we skinned the smoke wagon. There was no doubt in our minds that this would be a perfect 5. On the back of that, can I have your thoughts and score, please, sir?
Can tell you now, that ain't changing. This is an iconic film. You put it up there with the iconicest of films. Personally, I have this as Spielberg's greatest and best works, and that is saying something. Everything is shot to perfection, possibly the most iconic score of all time, considering what it's done for horror, action, everything. John Williams. Even though the outlier actors are absolute garbage.
Yep.
In this film, which I'm starting to notice a lot of Spielberg's pre-90s films have, it doesn't matter because the performance of the main 3, Shaw, Dreyfuss, and Scheider, are some of the best we've ever seen in film.
Yep.
The first half of this film is amazing. The second half probably has no equal. It is a 5 out of 5.
Yep.
What about you, my friend?
Well, it's gone down a little bit. No, fuck no. This is like, I know you say some of the background actors, yeah, and that's a lot of them are locals for Martha's Vineyard.
You can feel it. You can feel it.
They employed a lot of locals. There's a couple of shots in there that don't quite fit now, and you can pick them out. But I don't give a fuck. This is a perfect movie for me.
Yeah.
An absolute joy to watch. Pretty much, I think I've enjoyed this movie the most out of all the movies we've reviewed in terms of watching it. I just sat there and my fingers just automatically typed. I didn't even look down.
It's a very easy watch, isn't it?
Brilliantly directed, magnificently scored, and incredibly acted. It's no wonder this was in the top 10 all-time box office until Forrest Gump knocked it out nearly 20 years later. And really, its brilliance comes about as a result of numerous and frequent flaws with the animatronic sharks.
You're glad that Gump is the film.
Yeah, true.
Bumped it out. Yeah.
If the sharks hadn't played up so badly, we would not have gotten a movie of this magnitude. It wouldn't have been as brilliant as it was.
Yep.
This is the best movie we've reviewed. This is a 5 out of 5.
Yes. Where does that put it, mate?
That puts it fifth.
Fifth
Because of its IMDb score. So sits just below Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and just above Dune Part 1.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
All very good.
Very hard to look.
It is,
unless we're going to review Shawshank, nothing's going to topple Terminator 2.
Maybe
Dune Part 2. Who knows?
Fucking The Godfather.
Oh, Godfather 2.
That's up there, isn't it?
Godfather Part 2 is,
Godfather Part 2. Oh, well, we'll talk about it in the sequels.
Yes, we will. Best on ground play set.
This is just runaway. I mean, any of the three could have been it, but Quint is in a league of his own as Robert Shaw, or Robert Shaw as Quint is unbeatable. Yep. Unbeatable. Yourself?
I would love to give it to any of the three lead actors, but I won't. It was Roy Scheider probably for the first half of this movie.
Yep.
But when Robert Shaw shows up again, just past the halfway mark, fuck me, steals it. Absolutely defining performance.
And I'll say this, it's not just that he got a good character. There are moments in it where fear has to build and they've got no effects, nothing. It's just a shot of him with the camera and he'll have the reel with him and it clicks over and he creates dread just from acting.
Just from his eyes.
Yeah, there's no effect. There's no nothing. It's just that he is alone on a camera and he's scared. Like, he is playing this fearsome guy and he's scared and you can see it in this act. It's a monumental turn.
People will never single that scene out, but I did this time around. And you look at the simple brilliance of Robert Shaw eating a cracker and the line clicks and he just looks down. He's like, oh, okay. And it clicks again. He's like, yeah, okay. Something's about to go down.
Something's happening and it's
the way he slow motion puts his vest on and clicks himself into the reel and gets himself ready just for what's about to happen, fucking brilliant.
Yeah. So one prop is imagine telling someone, all right, mate, you've got yourself a big game rod and a camera facing your way, create dread.
Yeah.
You're like, what? What dread?
I am the law.
But that is what he did. Yep. And you can't, I don't know, that's old school acting, man. That's a shame that he passed so early.
West on ground.
Like I said, I could have given it to all the background actors, but there is one in particular that did it for me, and it was the doctor wheeling Mikey. Do you know when Mikey gets in shock and he's in, like, I 100% Spielberg said to him, don't look at the camera, don't look at the camera. And this guy's walking Mikey on the gurney and he looks up at the camera, looks at the camera, and I'm like, well, you know what? At least it's straight ahead so it looks like you're looking where you're going.
Yeah.
So Mikey's thing keeps going and the camera turns so they can cut to the people standing to the opposite side of the gurney.
Yep.
And the doctor turns his head, looks straight at the camera and turns back. I'm sure Spielberg's sitting there going, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
All you had to do was look forward.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that really irked me.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Because when, like you told me, they're all extras and, I mean, if you can't take fucking one, that could be Spielberg. Spielberg could have not told him, you know what, that's my fault. I should have told him.
Yeah. He was young. He was very young doing this and naive in his own words.
And so was the doctor. Looked like about 18. But, the doctor wheeling Mikey.
Okay.
What about you?
When I started this movie, I thought there'd be no worse on grounds. I could pick one of the background idiots, but it won't mean anything because it doesn't impact anything. But when the kids have got the cardboard fin and there's the panic and everybody comes in, there's like these two, they almost look like teenagers.
Yeah. Like
marshalling people out, and they're wearing white pants and a white shirt.
Yeah, it's like beach attendants
like a bow tie
or something. Yeah.
And they're laughing. And I'm like, there is no way the director said, hey, when you do this shot, make sure you're pissing yourself laughing.
Yeah.
It's like they're not taking it seriously for me.
Yeah.
And I never noticed it before. And I think maybe because this time we're reviewing it, so I'm looking in the backgrounds of shots and stuff.
And like you said, they've pulled in a lot of people from the side. You wonder, were people just in... It's Martha's Vineyard. It's a holiday area, yeah? So maybe they're drunk and stuff. They're like, oh, let's get over here.
Yeah.
And he can't possibly control... Like 100 people. He can tell them, hey, guys, this is serious. And we need you to act serious. And these guys are just like, yeah, I'll take one of the white tops and just smile while they're doing it.
You've got to remember, too, this was originally scheduled for a 54-day shoot, and it ran to 159 days. And he had studio pressure on him all the time to get this done.
Yeah. So there probably were things like that he's like, you know what? I am not reshooting the guy pushing the gurney.
Yep.
Who gives a shit? Like, that's not what the movie's about. The movie's about the shark, and that's what'll matter.
Yep. Play of the day.
Play of the day has to be the sequence of the chumming surprise. Yep. So when Brody's throwing the chum in, looking the other way, and the shark comes up, and he sees it, and he starts walking backwards. And like the dread builds, and he walks in, and Shaw's sitting there. I think he's fiddling with
a reel,
yeah. And the iconic line comes along. He goes, "You're going to need a bigger boat." But then they all walk outside. Sorry, Hooper's up on the reel, and Quint and Brody walk out onto the back. And that's the first time for me that score hits, and it's
only
dread.
It's only like one little stanza.
Yeah.
It's like, and then all of a sudden, and Quint's looking for the shark now.
Yeah, and it is. That's right. The score, for some reason, hits hard there, especially after that iconic line, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yep.
That was my play of the day, and I thought that scene was perfection. I could have picked 100. It's perfect scenes in this.
You could have. And also,
shooting.
Just to give you some information on that scene, according to Carl Gottlieb, who was one of the writers, Roy Scheider improvised that line.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What was your play of the day?
Mate, Quint's Indianapolis speech.
That's brilliant.
That whole night. I'll go further. That whole nighttime sequence when they're in the cabin drinking and comparing scars and singing "Show Me the Way to Go Home." Everything from scars to the shark showing up. It's just fucking brilliant. Brilliant writing, brilliant acting. Just there's nothing going on.
It's probably right before the action as well. So they make you feel for the characters more than you ever have. Especially when they start singing that song. You're like, you know what? They're just guys.
Yeah.
And they're under a lot of pressure. And they found a bond here. Like, these guys haven't got along with Quint the whole time. And he's sitting there and he's bringing them all into his life. And they feel like they're together. And it's taken away from them so quickly. So, yeah, I agree. That's a brilliant scene.
Saw us. He swung in low and he saw us too. A young pilot, a lot younger than Mr. Hooper anyway. He saw us and he come in low. And 3 hours later, a big fat PBY comes down and started to pick us up. You know, that was the time I was most frightened, waiting for my turn. I'll never put on a life jacket again. So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945. Anyway, we delivered the bomb.
Would you watch it again?
Yes.
I think we can safely go.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Yep.
That is a hell yeah.
From now until the day I die, I will watch this movie.
Yeah, it's a great, and you know what? It hasn't deteriorated.
No,
bit,
and I think
bit.
that's the key. It is an effects movie, so to speak, but there's nothing lost in the time
Nothing
since release to now.